Hi English learners, welcome back. As you know, I'm Laura from laurasenglishclass.com, and unless you have been living under a rock for the past month, you have probably heard about today's topic. Today we are going to talk about international headline news, and a lot of my Taiwanese students especially have been asking about the vocabulary that they need to talk about it in English. So I figured we would start a new series called What's Up in the News in English and talk about these headline issues to give you the vocabulary to talk smoothly and naturally about these topics in English. Today we are going to talk about the 武汉肺炎, the coronavirus. So let's get started. Today we're going to talk about 武汉肺炎, the coronavirus. Now, why is it called the coronavirus in English? It's not from the beer, okay? It's because corona comes from Latin, and that means crown. Now, the scientists who were looking at this virus looked at it and has all of these spikes around it, so they thought, oh, it looks kind of like a crown. So they gave it the name coronavirus. Let's say that one more time more slowly. Coronavirus. So the stress, coronavirus. Coronavirus. In order to talk about the coronavirus really smoothly and naturally in English, you're going to need to know these key words. So let's take a look at all of these words today so that you can be able to recognize the vocabulary in the news articles you're reading and then also use them in your conversations in English. The first word is an outbreak of. This is a noun phrase. An outbreak of. An outbreak of. You're going to put a noun afterwards. An outbreak of the coronavirus. An outbreak is when you have suddenly a lot of cases of the same disease or medical condition that's contagious in the same area. So you could say, for example, there has been an outbreak of the coronavirus in Wuhan, China. Great. An incubation period. An incubation period is also a noun phrase, and this is describing that period of time before you actually know that you're sick. So once you catch the virus, before you start to have the symptoms of the virus and those signs that show that you're sick, like a runny nose or a fever. So, for example, the coronavirus has an incubation period of about 5 days. The next thing that you need to know is symptom. A symptom. It's a noun. If you have the plural, it's symptoms. And this, of course, means those signs that your body gives you to show that you have a bigger condition. For example, maybe you have a fever and a headache, and maybe you're coughing and sneezing. These could all be symptoms of the flu or perhaps even the coronavirus. For example, the symptoms of the coronavirus are very similar to the symptoms of the flu, so it's very hard to diagnose or to recognize the coronavirus. The next one is a pretty easy one, but this is something you have all been waiting in line for a really long time. The next word is face mask. Of course, face mask is a noun, and it's what you're wearing over your nose and mouth to protect yourself. So you could say there's a shortage of face masks in Taiwan. Next one is hand sanitizer. Hand sanitizer. This noun, of course, is that liquid that you're going to use on your hands after you go to the hospital or maybe after you're in a public building. You're going to put hand sanitizer on your hands. So you should say, please remember to use hand sanitizer before and after you visit a hospital. All right, the next one is practice good hygiene. Practice good hygiene. So practice is your verb, good is an adjective, hygiene is a noun. Practice good hygiene. This means to really be sure that you're doing all those things you need to do to be clean and to be safe. So what is practicing good hygiene is, of course, taking showers, brushing your teeth, washing your hands. So during an outbreak of something like the coronavirus, you should be practicing good hygiene to protect yourself from the virus. Our next word is contagious. One more time, contagious. Contagious is an adjective that means that something spreads easily from one person to another. Now, this doesn't always have to be negative. Of course, it's used for things like diseases or viruses, right? The coronavirus is contagious. However, you can also say that a yawn, if you start yawning, the yawn is contagious because I gave it to you. Laughter can also be contagious. But unfortunately, the coronavirus is extremely contagious, which is one of the reasons why it's so dangerous. Our next word is to be infected by. Now, this is a passive expression. You would say, I hope I don't get infected by the coronavirus. Infected by means that someone has spread the coronavirus to you. You have caught the disease. So if you want to say it in the passive, I hope I don't get infected by the coronavirus. Or you can say, thousands of people have been infected by the coronavirus. This next vocabulary item is one I wish I didn't have to explain with it, but it is death toll. Death toll is a noun and it means the total number of people who have died as a result of something. So, for example, as of making this video, the death toll because of the coronavirus is over 426 people. So that's pretty serious. That's the total number of people who have died so far. That's the death toll. The next one is take measures to. Take measures to is going to be followed by a base verb. So this verb phrase is going to mean that you're intentionally doing something in order to avoid a certain situation that's bad, or you're going to be doing something in order to protect yourself or to protect your group. So for example, you can say my country is taking measures to stop the spread of the coronavirus, right? They're intentionally doing things in order to do the next verb. So they're taking measures to stop people from coming into my country from China. They're taking measures to make sure that government workers have enough face masks, for example. The next one is be quarantined. Quarantined. This one is a weird one. Let's look at the pronunciation again. Quarantined. Quarantined. That's the adjective. If you want to use the verb, it's to quarantine. Quarantine. So quarantine means that you're taking somebody and you are putting them away from the rest of the population because they have a sickness, and you're going to wait until they're better before they can come back out. So it's kind of like a special area for those people who are sick to stay as they're getting treated so that the rest of the population doesn't catch what they have. So you would say, for example, there's a ship that stopped in Taiwan that has now been quarantined off the coast of Japan. So the people on the ship are quarantined on the ship. They're not allowed to leave and go down and visit Japan because there's the coronavirus on board. So you could also say that Japan is quarantining that ship. Great. The next word is cruise ship. This one I'm including on our list because this is big news in Taiwan. I know that there was a cruise ship that just landed in Geelong. Cruise ship is a big ship like the Titanic, right? So it landed in Geelong, and then a certain number of people got off, visited Taiwan, and then left, and it was discovered the cruise ship had the coronavirus. So you could say recently a cruise ship landed in Taiwan and a lot of passengers got off who may have the coronavirus. Lastly, we have to ban. That's the verb. Or if you want to use the noun form, a ban. You're going to put a ban on something. So for example, you could say that the government in Hong Kong put a ban on wearing face masks during protests. So after put a ban on, the next thing is going to be a noun. So put a ban on wearing, the noun form there. You could also say that the Taiwanese government put a ban on exporting face masks to other countries. Or you could use it as a verb and say the Japanese government banned the passengers on the cruise ship from getting off and visiting Japan. So you're going to ban someone or ban something from something else. You're going to ban cigarettes from bars, for example. All right, great. So today we have talked about all of these words. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to read a short passage that has all of these words put together to help you practice listening and recognizing this new vocabulary. So hopefully at the end of this, you will have learned these new words so that you can recognize them in newspaper articles, and you'll be able to use them as you're discussing this issue in English. All right, so I am going to turn the camera off and I am going to read you this passage. Please listen along, and afterwards I will show you the transcript as we read it again. So here we go. Following the outbreak of the coronavirus in China, there have been reports of people infected by the virus all over the world. Most airports now have a quarantine in place to stop travelers with a fever, but due to the incubation period for the disease, it's easy for infected people without symptoms to travel and not even know that they have been infected. Because this disease is very contagious, it's easy to spread to others in these public places. Because of this and the rising death toll as a result of the coronavirus, many countries have banned tourists from China and other regions suffering from this outbreak. Many cruise ships with infected passengers have also been quarantined. During this time, it's important to take measures to practice good hygiene and protect yourself from the disease, including regularly washing your hands, using hand sanitizer, and wearing a face mask. Following the outbreak of the coronavirus in China, there have been reports of people infected by the virus all over the world. Most airports now have a quarantine in place to stop travelers with a fever, but due to the incubation period for the disease, it's easy for infected people without symptoms to travel and not even know that they have been infected. Because this disease is very contagious, it's easy to spread to others in these public places. Because of this and the rising death toll as a result of the coronavirus, many countries have banned tourists from China and other regions suffering from this outbreak. Many cruise ships with infected passengers have also been quarantined. During this time, it's important to take measures to practice good hygiene and protect yourself from the disease, including regularly washing your hands, using hand sanitizer, and wearing a face mask. Okay, that's it. If I forgot any important words, please let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and of course, check out laurasenglishclass.com because I have a lot of free pronunciation courses and other materials that you can use to help improve your English. If you have any questions, you can also let me know. All right, I'll see you online very soon. Bye-bye.